Peace, family. Go City Razor, Double OG. Um, Today's session, I want to talk about a topic of the topic of when you did time and you come home and everybody moved on in life and you try to move on while you're incarcerated, but you like stuck in time. It's like you buried alive. It's a feeling like it's hard to put in words. It's probably one of the worst feelings in the world. And for me, I did 6 years. There's guys that did less, longer. You know, the pain is the pain. I'm not using it as a badge of honor. I'm just trying to always bring forth some type of understanding of that aspect of a lot of black men's life, because I think in our culture, I believe it's two out of three or something along those lines. I think it's definitely over 50% of us like been in trouble with the law. So it's part of our culture. So I don't think personally we should be sweeping it under the rug and act like it don't exist. This stuff is real. And I want to speak on like your loved ones moving on. So for me, like the relationship I had, she moved on prior to me and my lady getting serious while I was in there. She moved on, which is okay. Yet the rough part about it is when you have a child and they move on and another man's in your child life while you're locked up. And while I was going, I know for me personally, while you going, you visualize, oh, I'm gonna train him in this, I'm gonna do this, because I wasn't the best boxer, but I knew how to throw a little bit, but I learned the art of it from my experiences. I wasn't the best basketball player, although I was really good. I learned from those experiences. So the areas that I feel like I mastered in life, you try to instill that in your child. But if you going out your child's life for a while, like when I left, my son was like 4. Now he just turned 11, so I came home, he was 10. So I was like gone most of his life. I was gone 6 years out of his 10 years being alive. And it was another person there, right? So as I find out different things, like this other person had his own idea. And that's what you do. You deal with a woman, she got a child. You do what men do, you try to raise a child. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I respect it. Yet the adjustment for me is coming home and he's not the mold that I would make him. Now, he's an awesome kid. I love my son. I think he's dope. But now I have to navigate around who he is. So the adjustment is even your child will move on. He'll still love you, but he has to move on in a sense, because he has this male figure in his life that might be showing him how to do this, showing him how to do things that you want to do as a father, but you can't because you're incarcerated, being punished for your mistakes, right? So the adjustment is that's hard, that a lot of men don't talk about and it don't get spoken about. It's like I've never heard people address this, but you have to come home and like be a friend to your child, because you can't come home trying to instill laws and rules and be this guy, because you could turn them right off from you, because you already been gone for years. And unfortunately for me, my last 4 years I didn't see him. So I barely had a relationship while I was gone. So now we're trying to institute this relationship based on all the memories. Because one thing about me, with all 3 of my sons, even two of them grown, but with my sons, I always was active in their life. I paid attention to them. I played with their games. I coached their teams. Active. I had strong bonds and relationships with my sons. So he still remembers the early times, all the attention I paid him. So we still had like a bond, but it's like I have to become his friend and slowly but surely ease the rules and being an authority figure in his life. And that's coming along well. But the toughest part for me is dealing with the fact that he's been molded by another man, in a sense. So for me, I have to think like, should I respect that mold or should I break it and create what I want? Personally, I'm going to break the mold and create what I want, because I feel like that's my son. And I appreciate everything you did, but you're off duty now, buddy. That's how I feel because I'm definitely active, and I feel like you got some fathers that say, "Oh, well, I didn't force my son to do anything. He did what he wanted to do, and and I just support whatever you want to do." And I remember one time that I was playing basketball. We was coaching a team together, me and this guy, and he said, "I wish I would have played basketball," and I was like, "Wow." But that come from his dad letting him do what he wanted to do. But when he tried to play basketball, he wasn't good. But he wished he knew how to play basketball because he's like 6'2". So I was thinking to myself, and prior to this, I was like, okay, I will lead my kids in a direction. I will make them think that they're making a choice. I will lead them in the areas that I know that I can shape them in. Because as a father, me personally, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but you want to have some type of expertise in the field that your child choose far as his extracurricular activities. We all know schools, you need straight A's, that's that. But when I'm talking about extracurricular activities, so what I would do was present my son with basketball, boxing, and a little football. Right? So once you present them with the choices you chose, they'll end up picking a choice and they'll do it off their free will, but you set the buffet. So that's how I always like finesse my way into my sons being in the areas that I've got some experience in, that I'm strong in, so we can create that bond and I can push them and teach them how to be men, how to have confidence and different things of that nature. But the adjustment part of it, it was tough because I had to respect uh, people move on and it's going to be a man in your life. Yet, I feel like that's my little man, and I appreciate what you've done, but now it's time to stay on point. And that's the thing, to even like branch off into another area of readjusting and everything. Dealing with not being able to be a father, not being able to be a father is, oh, that's one of the toughest things when you're in there. Some guys, they see their children every weekend, every other weekend. They talk on the phone. Like my son, not necessarily a type. He don't necessarily like to talk on the phone. So it was tough getting them to have conversations with him on the phone. Like I said, out of the 6 years, the last 4 years, I didn't see him. So it was like hell, 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 not having a relationship with your son. I love my children, love them. So that was tough. So just imagine me with this vision of how I want to raise him to come home to him being raised how somebody else sees it fit. That's a tough adjustment. And for my guys, if I had any advice for anybody, first of all, for a woman, if you're dealing with somebody that's incarcerated, you in that situation where you got another man around his children, be honest as possible with the father so he can at least know what he's up against. Let him know everything so he can know what he's up against, so he can make the proper adjustment. To the fellas, what I would say is stay active. Don't count nobody else's money or try to keep up with the Joneses. Be yourself. Witness your own progress, because one thing I learned about progress, everybody not going to see your progress. You need to make sure you see your progress and you stay on that path and you become a responsible role model for your child. And if you stay consistent and you stay in their life, and when you're dealing with the mom, try not to argue, try not to create any barriers or any more hatred or resentment. Remember, she was the one doing what she had to do to raise your child. So respect the foundation that she laid, respect her as the mother, and you work on a relationship so you could come back into your child's life and be the man that you're supposed to be, and guide them and use all the experiences that you learn from being in the trenches and the different sides of life, and you add that with whatever else he got, and you create the best child possible, because the children are our future and we need them to be bright and strong. So on that note, I'm out. Peace.